Carlos Pereira.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the resolution of Altan da Costa and Vijay Sardesai. Entire Goa is opposing the railway double tracking. I will not repeat what my colleagues have said, but I want to only clarify one thing. The Honorable Minister made a statement that this is a central project and therefore they can't have answers here. I know for sure, I have seen the files. The government of Goa has given consent to the central government for having the project. It is not that the government of Goa is not knowing anything of what is happening in the project. Every stage officers of the government of Goa are acting for and on behalf of the central government. Officers of the government of Goa are acting for them and are giving reports to the government of Goa. Land of the government of Goa is also being used by the government of India and the railways, and therefore it cannot be said that we are not aware. Sometimes I have seen replies in files. It can also be said sub judice, a manner of dodging. If you want to dodge, there's a way to dodge. If you want to tell the truth, you tell the truth. I will only now read 3 paragraphs of the Supreme Court judgment, and I will just make a little submission. It will just hardly take 2-3 minutes. Supreme Court says, it was observed by CEC that more than 80% of the rakes were returning empty. Further, taking note of the fact that 92% of the goods transported from Goa to Karnataka through the line was coal, and while observing that the export of iron ore from Karnataka as a policy was discouraged, CEC did not recommend the doubling of the railway line. Then, the next paragraph is 11. This is very important. Supreme Court uses these words. Taking into account the aforementioned submissions and suggestions, the CEC recommended to this court, I will not read everything, I'll read only few lines. The Konkan Railway gives excellent connectivity, number 1. The government policy to discourage import of coal, there will be reduction in coal import, which currently forms more than 90% of goods from traffic of Mormugao. Third point, empty rakes returning to Goa. Fourth point, there are alternative ports like Krishnapatnam in the east coast available with better rail connectivity for transport of goods to and from industrial belt of northern Karnataka, and the capacity of the same is yet to be utilized. Then number 7, next point, the forest canopy, I'm not interested in that. I'm not even also looking at the animal corridor. The connectivity between Goa and Karnataka is being strengthened, improved by way of 4-laning of National Highway 4A along the same route and by development of new airport. Then finally, the Supreme Court in paragraph 20 says, the Ministry of Railways has failed to provide any substantial basis for the requirement of doubling of the railway line. Please understand this. They are not saying only in that gut section. Totally failed to provide any substantial basis for requirement or doubling of the railway line. RVLN attempted to justify its decision on the ground that there is a likelihood that requirement of coal and other raw materials will be doubled in the future and the proposed project is very much needed. And they place some reliance. And the Supreme Court says this, we are in agreement with CEC that the requirement of coal can be met by utilizing Krishnapatnam port, which is a viable alternative for transportation of coal. The said suggestion will also prevent the degradation of the Western Ghats. Then also, Supreme Court shows that the point raised by RVR before CEC regarding enhancement of connectivity between Goa and Karnataka by proposal was rightly rejected on the ground that there was a proposal for 4-laning of National Highway along with the same route and augmentation of air connectivity Goa. And finally, the Supreme Court says this part. This is a very important sentence. For the foregoing reasons, we uphold the conclusion of the CEC. And of course, they revoke because they only request for revocation of that part. We uphold the conclusion of CEC. So if the Supreme Court has accepted everything and the CEC has considered, you may argue by saying that the Supreme Court has only disturbed or stopped the track at the Ghats. But the CEC and the Supreme Court have also considered you don't require railway double tracking at all for Goa. You're not even meeting its full potential as it is. So this is something which I think the government should look at very seriously. It is not a matter of you and me, it is matter of Goa. Today you may be ruling, today we are in opposition. It's tomorrow what we are thinking of the future for Goa, for our children and the future of our country. Thank you.